Good morning, everyone. How we all doing today? I'd like to welcome you all to Skelly by Nature. Here we discuss many topics all revolving around nature. I am your host, Skelly, and we might have a little co-host if Rosie makes an appearance or not. We'll see. But today I would like to talk about a topic of revolving around foraging for medicine as well as food. And for a lot of you beginners, this is a plant that is a great plant to start off with if you're a beginner forager or whether you're an experienced forager. It's a great plant. The one nice thing about it is it's readily available, and the plant that I'm talking about is right here. Now, this is called spiderwort. Now, the nice thing about spiderwort is, like I said, it's considered an invasive plant. So, because of that, it's usually found all over the place. You can find it all over the country, all over the world. The other nice thing about it is, too, it's a very easily identifiable plant. there's there's not many lookalikes. There's many varieties of this plant as well. So it's something that all the varieties and are easily recognizable. The other nice thing about this plant is, like a lot of plants, this plant can be used for many benefits when it comes to health benefits, as well as it can be used in many forms, and the whole entire plant is usable. So you can use the flower, you can use the leaf, and you can use the root itself, as well as the seed too. So I'm going to help you guys identify this. I'm going to show you some of the good uses of this. Now, this plant does have many good uses. You can use it raw in a salad with the leaves. You can use it in teas or in soups as well. It's also been known to be roasted, and the root itself has been made into teas. The flower you can use in salads and teas and soups, and I'm going to show you later on how to make a nice soda elixir to help with stomach issues and digestive issues. And the benefits, there's many other benefits as well. It's a plant that if you crush it up and you make a mashed paste, it can be used on wounds and help heal wounds. It can be used on hemorrhoids. The leaves have been used for diarrhea and stomach issues. You can also take the leaf itself and you pull it off, and there's a little excretion that comes out, and you can use it like an aloe and use it on, say, relief for bug bites, as well as it's also been used for cramping, and as they also say, it works to help fight against cancer. So there's a lot of good health benefits. So let me show you let me show you how to identify this plant. So as you can see, it forms in clusters, and it's got a beautiful purple flower to it, as well as the leaves themselves are long and thin, as you can see. And the flower itself, they're very beautiful flowers. They have kind of a 3-petal flower to it. And that's basically how you would identify this. You don't really need a whole lot to identify this. It is a plant that, like I said, grows in big clumps, makes for a great ornamental piece to your garden. It makes for great borders. As you can see, I have it as a border to my garden. But like I said, it is an invasive plant, so you need to be careful. So now let's talk about harvesting this plant. Like I said, I grow this in my garden, so I have it right here. If you don't have it in your garden, you can go around and try to find this. Like I said, it is an invasive plant. It can be readily found all over the place. If you do find it in someone's garden, ask them. Always ask permission if it's on private property. But you do find these a lot in the wild as well. So when you harvest this plant, you can pull it out by the whole entire plant itself, or sometimes what I do to help control this plant in my garden is I actually pull out the shovel, pop out whole sections of it, and that way I can help reduce the spreading of it as well. But if you're looking to harvest it, if you're going to be, say, making a soup or a salad and you want to use the leaves, this is the piece that you want. You can just pull it off. It has, like I said, it's nice and long. And a lot of people have, like I said, used this in teas and salads and soups. And then if you're looking for the flower itself, you're just going to be picking the flower. Now, when you harvest this, the best time to harvest this is early in the morning. The reason is these flowers actually will open up in the morning. And then as the afternoon sun hits this, they will start to close up. As you can see, they close up into a little ball. But we're looking for what I'm going to show you today with the soda elixir. I'm looking for the open flower, and the more flower that I can get with the nectar, see the little bit of yellow in there, that's better. But if you don't have the nectar, as you can see the one next to it, the nectar is kind of missing. So that's okay as well, but the ones that you can pick with the nectar are the best. So let me get right down to showing you what I'm going to show you today. And what we're going to do today is, like I said, we're going to be making an elixir that is great for stomach issues and diarrhea, things like that. And so the first thing we're going to start off with is a jar. You see I got my good mason jar here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and clip enough of these flowers. Now you can pop them off real easy and just stick them in a jar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go fill this jar up to about halfway, and then that's when I know I have enough, and I'm going to go do that right now. And then you guys can join me in a little bit, and I'll show you how to make the elixir. Okay, so we're back, and we have our co-host Rosie with me. We're just finishing collecting our flowers, and I got my jar pretty much halfway full. Now, the one thing that I'm going to let you know is don't be afraid to pick too many of the flowers. These flowers are actually only good for a couple days, and then they're going to die off. And the nice thing about this plant is it reproduces new flowers. So don't be afraid to pick too many. You're not going to ruin the plant. Tomorrow there's going to be a whole nother set of flowers that pop up. So you're not going to lose anything there. So let's move on to the next step. So as we have our container full of flowers, the next thing we need is some honey. And I like to use local honey. This is a honey my sister makes. And what we're going to do is we're going to pour in about 3 tablespoons of honey. Okay, so I now have my honey in here. And as you can see, it does compress the flour down a little bit. So the next step is we're going to want to add some water. And the idea is we're going to put some water in there. The honey is going to be used as help to ferment. And what's going to happen is we're going to take this, we're going to fill the jar up with water. Now, if you're going to be doing this, don't use straight tap water. We want an unchlorinated type of water, so either use the bottled water or do what I'm going to do. I got my trusty Brita filter here, and I'm going to fill this jar up. So I'm not going to fill it completely up. I'm going to leave pretty much the neck open. And what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to put our lid on. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to let this sit. Put this out on your counter. Let it sit for 3 to 5 days. And what's going to happen is this is going to start to kind of have, it's going to start to bubble a little bit. You're going to get kind of a nice fermenting kind of soda carbonated kind of drink. And once you have, in 3 days, what you can do is when you start to see it's bubbling, you're close to being ready. So you're going to let it bubble. You can always check it, taste it. If it tastes a little bit more like sugar water, then let it sit for another day or two. If it doesn't, then the next step would be to strain this, put the liquid in another jar, put this in your fridge, and you're going to have yourself a nice little elixir. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned a little bit of something today. If you have any questions, feel free, drop me a comment below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. As well, do the things that we all know to do. Hit that like button, hit that share button, drop me a comment, say hello, tell me where you're all from. That would be nice to know who's watching my videos as well. And if there's anything that you would like to see in the future, feel free, drop me a comment or contact me and let me know. And I'll do my best to maybe do a video for you. So until then, enjoy your new elixir, and I'll see you all in the next video.